Please permit me a second of your time to ask some questions. Questions about love that will challenge your intellect and may even put your mind in suspension. Because you see, the purpose of this is to challenge your perception and encourage new reflections upon the power and the purpose of love, which is the bond of perfection. To supernaturally understand the mystery that solves the equation that is the love of God, to comprehend the magnitude, the fortitude and the altitude of his love described in his word. A love so vicariously great, reaching its destination faster than a Concorde, yet so slow, patient, waiting, yearning to bring man back into one accord. What kind of love is this? What kind of love will love me from everlasting past to an everlasting love way before I was formed in my mother's womb? What kind of love will preempt man's inevitable fall and put a contingency plan in place for his salvation that involved death on a cross and subsequent burial in a tomb? What kind of love is omniscient, all-knowing, knowing all, knowing the man of the fall, yet still trusting him and putting him in charge of his creation to have dominion? What kind of love will endure being abused again and again, tormented and grieved again and again, yet still patiently hopeful, longing to bring man back into communion? What kind of love is this? What kind of love refused to separate itself from me when, like a pig, I run away and marinate myself in the mud of all manner of sin and self-condemnation? What kind of love is patient with me regardless, ready to dust me off of my filth and present me holy, righteous and blameless before the King of creation? What kind of love will motivate God, not man but God, to give someone so precious to him for me when I was still dead in sin, neither worthy nor deserving? What kind of love is selfless enough to forsake his throne and life of glory, humble himself, take on human flesh, step into time, neither seeking worship nor glory but came serving? What kind of love is this? Every time I ponder upon the love of God, there is no word I can use to adequately describe it, simply because this love is so great and unfathomable. I can only but engage in a feeble attempt to describe it, and even that's insufficient. For you see, the love of God is the essence of creation and the catalyst for salvation, the inspiration for mediation by Jesus for his creation, the motivation for consecration by those who catch the revelation. You see, this love is the notion that sets in motion divine acceleration for your divine promotion. A revelation of the love of God is the most important information which precipitates the divine formulation for man's God-ordained instauration. This love was God's solution to man's eternal segregation, which necessitated Christ's propitiation that gave man back everlasting consolation. This love is the source of purification that comes with regeneration for the royal priesthood, God's holy nation. And this love is the true foundation for the ununderstandable peace that we have in our hearts that causes jubilation for man's eternal celebration. The love of God is the key that opens the door to everlasting unity. This love is the equation to supernatural harmony and congruity. The love of God is the antidote to perpetual chaos and disunity. That's why the love of God is what you need in your life in order to foster a more peaceful community. A life based upon the love of God is inevitably destined for success. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because you will have to persevere and endure the process, even if it means you have to die to self, kill your ego and prepare for a life of sacrifice in excess. But it will be worth it though, because it's a sign of obedience to God and it's your gateway to greatness. You see, it all starts, it continues and it ends with the love of God. Whether through justification of saints or sinners' punishment for sins, it will all stem from the love of God. And for those who choose not to believe it, you better believe it, because this love will prevail. And that's the reason why it's the greatest thing on earth, because this love never fails.